it's now just those the reports, but it's just like, work at councils can be quite full on, it can be quite hard. So our council and representing councils around the country, we actually try to foster a sense of, community, a sense of fun. And we definitely try to push that message through this marketing campaign, so and I think it's worked. So
good on you, well, you're on the banner. That's a start, Richard Hart there. And there's that. Great show. Oh, thank you, Steve. How nice of you, didn't have to. Much man, so nice, and indeed, great to have you here, Bob. Wonderful show. Stay with me, Hell Plus. So stick around on
RNZ Pacific News, Lisa Bolivanaka. I'm Karen McCarthy. The Prime Minister of Fiji has celebrated the opening of Fiji's embassy in Jerusalem. Corey Hawkins has the details.
Fiji Rambuka travelled to Israel to inaugurate the diplomatic mission, despite opposition parties and others criticizing and condemning the move, with concerns about Israel's actions in Gaza. He stood alongside the Israeli leader Benjamin Netanyahu, ejecting the Taluson, traditional Fijian guards. Rambuka said Fiji's diplomatic presence in Israel reflects our desire to build bridges, not walls. He said Fijians share a close religious and cultural connection to Jerusalem, telling Mr. Netanyahu, "We deeply value your great nation, the birthplace of Christianity." Fiji becomes the seventh country to open an embassy in Jerusalem, joining Papua New Guinea, the US, Guatemala, Honduras, Kosovo, and Paraguay.
Australia has pledged to slash planet-warming greenhouse gas emissions by up to 70% from 2005 levels over the next decade. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese unveiled the goal today, saying, "We listen to the science and we act in Australia's national interest." But it's a target climate activists call not enough. Under the landmark Paris Climate Accord, countries must provide a figure to the United Nations for cutting heat-trapping emissions by 2035. Australia has been closely watched, given its bid to host next year's UN Climate Summit alongside Pacific Islands neighbours threatened by rising sea levels. The announcement comes days after a national climate risk assessment. Australia's Prime Minister is promising more transparency on its involvement in any deep-sea mining. Last month, the country signed a new contract with Canada's The Metals Company for a deep-sea mining area in international waters that Tonga has special rights to. Prime Minister Atutu Eke says the metals co is coming to Tonga and will take questions from concerned parties.
We have to share because if it's not, the manufacturers are willing to have to transparent with them in this particular issue. But also the company is actually coming to Tonga. And there are also indicators and available for them also to demonstrate speak to them directly.
The Prime Minister says people have the right to know what the government is doing on behalf of the public. Fiji's Labour Party leader Mahendra Chaudhry says a big fire at a sugar mill in Rawai will significantly impact the economy. The Fiji Times reports the fire service is investigating how the blaze started. Fiji Sugar Corporation CEO Ram Pratap Singh says parts of the mill have been seriously damaged and operations have had to be suspended. Nobody was reported injured in the fire. In Aotearoa, New Zealand, a forensic psychiatrist has told the High Court in Auckland that a woman accused of murdering Richard Thornton in 2018 after her husband died of cancer used antidepressants dissolved in juice to kill him. Harvey Lee is representing himself in court, along with two standby counsel, to say she was insane at the time of the killings of William and Eunice Jones. The 45-year-old admits giving the children aged 6 and 8 the antidepressant nortriptyline, which led to their death. She then stored their bodies in suitcases, hiding them in a storage locker. Forensic psychiatrist Yvette Kelly told the court Harvey Lee took an overdose of the pills herself after her children died, but she survived. Dane is one of the latest Kiwi musicians and producers to get Spotify. He's built a boycott of the music streaming service, taking his music off and cancelling his subscription, citing that Spotify's greed, corruption and investment in defense technology. Dane says he loves music and creating music, but feels he has to take a stand against greed and war. Removing his songs means he won't get royalties. World news. Tens of thousands of Palestinians are desperately trying to flee increasing Israeli bombing of Gaza City. Israeli troops are slowly moving towards the city centre in an attempt to take it by force. The ABC's Eric Forchik reports.
The United Nations says around 40,000 Palestinians have fled Gaza City, moving south to areas designated by the Israeli military. It estimates around 200,000 people in total have left, meaning hundreds of thousands remain. The Israeli military says its troops have moved into the city itself and it's increased its bombardment, hitting 150 sites in the past 2 days, with both artillery and airstrikes. The Ministry of Health in Gaza says the bombing damaged a children's hospital, forcing patients and carers to flee.
The American television network ABC has taken late-night talk show host Jimmy Kimmel off the air indefinitely, following comments he made about the fatal shooting of right-wing influencer Charlie Kirk. Mr. Kimmel said during his show earlier this week that the MAGA gang were trying to score political points off Kirk's killing. He suggested that Tyler Robinson, the young man charged with gunning down the conservative activist, was aligned to Donald Trump's Make America Great Again movement, and that MAGA was trying to distance itself from him. President Trump has called Kimmel's suspension great news. King Charles has praised Donald Trump at a lavish banquet in Windsor Castle, a highlight of the American president's unprecedented second state visit to Britain. The BBC's Daniel Ralph reports. For a president who likes a glittering occasion, the state banquet was a star term. In Windsor Castle's St. George's Hall, guests included Rupert Murdoch and the golfer Nick Faldo. They dined on Norfolk chicken, drank transatlantic whiskey sours, and listened to a James Bond medley. In his speech, the king spoke carefully of Ukraine and trade deals, and praised what he called President Trump's commitment to finding solutions to some of the world's most intractable conflicts. And from the president, an emphasis on his country's stand with the UK. In sport, Tuvalu's men's futsal football team returns to the OFC Football Men's Cup in Syria this weekend after 14 years. Tuvalu last competed in 2011. Tuvalu Football General Secretary Martini Vailopa says the team's preparation has been unique, using the Funafuti airstrip to train as there are no football courts available on the island. Despite the challenges, Vailopa says the squad was able to travel to Fiji early to continue their build-up using the University of the South Pacific Gym in Suva. New Zealand's defending champions Blackburns have suffered a major blow ahead of their Women's Rugby World Cup semi-final against Canada. Star loose forward Georgia Miller ruled out with a mystery injury. Coach Alan Bunton wouldn't reveal what the injury is or whether Miller would be available for next weekend's final should New Zealand progress. Co-captain Kennedy Tupuatu will start at open side for Saturday morning's game in Bristol. Bunton says she is a more than capable replacement. Kiwi Olympic champion Hamish Kerr has his sights set on beating the men's high jump world record. The claiming gold at the Athletics World Championships in Tokyo. Olympic champ Kerr cleared 2.36 metres, matching his personal best to win the men's high jump finals. Cuba's Javier Sotomayor holds the world record with a jump of 2.45 metres, which he set in 1993, more than 3 decades ago. High-flying Hamish was could give it a nudge.
I wouldn't say it's long, it's so long in my career, but I think the last couple of years I've improved it, and I really do. I think that I'm like really stretching to get more competitive.
what's next day. The Carly Tarleton rugby team from Palmer had a field day at Brigham Young University in Salt Lake City, Utah on Wednesday, ahead of their Pacific Nations Cup third place playoffs this weekend. Head coach Davitas Tuifua says the team were guests at the university and had the opportunity to train alongside the school's American football team. Tuifua says the team also toured the football facilities. That's your latest RNZ Pacific News and Sport. For more stories, go to rnz.co.nz/Pacific.
Look at this is Pacific Waves from RNZ Pacific to be reporting. Coming up,
Counting is progressing quite smoothly and peacefully.
the second on the Bougainville election, also French Polynesia's president will be fellow Pacific leaders for a united position on deep sea mining.
Sometimes getting away from extractive earning is the way to go.
And we check out a new Pacific exhibition at Auckland's Central City Library. Bougainville Electoral Commissioner says vote counting is progressing smoothly and peacefully with around 30% of seats declared. The start of counting was delayed twice last week, first on Tuesday due to major flooding, and again on Thursday evening due to the late arrival of ballot boxes from 5 provinces. I spoke to the Commissioner for the Bougainville Electoral Commission, Desmond Sinai, for an update.
Counting is progressing quite smoothly and peacefully. We had a slow start, and the pace at which the counting is happening is sort of collected and gaining momentum. So generally, the counting is sped up over the last couple of days. We're still trying to implement strategies to further speed up the process. However, at the moment, we're going as fast as we can.
Are you able to say how much of the count has